Hey guys, welcome back. It's your girl Chantelli, and thank you guys so much for tuning in. I am back today with another message for you guys. Hope everyone is doing great and had a very great holidays. I'm actually pre-recording this, so I'm actually recording it on the holiday. So I hope everyone had a very great holiday and, celebrated and just had a very merry great time. So today I did want to go ahead and talk about how God removes and how God replaces. And what I mean by that is that there are seasons in our life where we want to know how come a certain person is no longer in it, or how come a situation is not the way that it used to be. Well, I'm here to tell you that life happens and things change. And honestly, this was one of my biggest battles as a person, as myself, is accepting the reality that sometimes people are no longer going to be in your life. And, you just have to accept that. And when I got on this walk with God, he did reveal, to me that, when he does this, he's doing it for a greater purpose. He's doing it for a, greater good. And, at the time, I didn't want to see it as that with some situations that I was in and some people that are no longer in my life. Like, I took it as a burden. I took it as, oh my gosh, like, why is this person no longer here? What could have done to make this situation better? What could have done for them to be in my life again? Or, what could have done to have changed that situation? I'm here to tell you, no matter what you do, no matter what you had could say or said, would not have changed that situation. Because like I said, when it's that time for God to remove something, it's going to be removed, whether you want it to happen or not. Yes, it sucks. And yes, you're like, oh my gosh, like, what can I do? Like, you may be a person like, because I was the kind of person where I would try to do everything in my power for someone or something not to change, just so I don't have to deal with that, that loss and that burden feeling of, oh my gosh, they're no longer in my life, or oh my gosh, this situation is no longer going to be the same. Like, accepting that is hard. Facing the reality of that is very hard. Like, it's a very hard coping situation to do. But when you trust God and allow him to show you the reason why he had to remove this, or the reason why, this situation is no longer the way it was, then things get better. It gets better over time. And then you be like, oh, okay, well, that's why that situation had to end, or that's why that person is no longer, in my life. Because every person who comes into your life, they either serve you as a blessing or a lesson. I'm learning. And, when you look at it in that way, you be like, okay, so you really be looking back at, whoever it is that's no longer in your life, or whatever situation that's no longer the same. And you look back at it and you just really evaluate what exactly happened with that person or that situation. And then you'd be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Because if I wouldn't have went through this, or if I wasn't in that situation, then it wouldn't have, this wouldn't be the way it is today. I wouldn't be the person that I am today. I wouldn't be in this, predicament or situation that I'm in today. So when you look at it as that, and allow God to reveal to you, the reason why he removed this. Because like I said, God knows everything. He hears and sees things that we don't see, and hear conversations that we don't hear. And, we over here thinking, this person or this situation is good for us. Then we don't even know the whole details. We don't even know the whole situation. We don't know the whole, like, behind the scenes, but God does. So that's why sometimes, he goes ahead and just remove it and close the door. I'm learning, once a door is closed, leave it closed. Because like I said, I was the kind of person, I would try to force things. I will always try to do whatever it is that I can to make the situation work, or, try to, do everything in my power to change myself so that this person doesn't leave or this situation doesn't change. I've learned that never happens. That never helps. It never changes. It never changes what happens. It never changes. And, you just have to accept that and just let God deliver you. Let God go ahead and allow himself into your life and show you, why it is that he removed that person and why it is that this situation is no longer the way that it was. Like I said, yes, it sucks. Yes, you at the time are going to be like, oh my gosh, why did this person have to go? Or why does this situation have to, change so abruptly? Because it can just happen sometimes just overnight or even the same day. Like it can just change and you don't know how to take it. You don't know how to handle it. And then you be in this state of, either depression or, anxiety or even upset. And then you're just really over here like, okay, how am I supposed to cope with this? How am I supposed to get through this? And like I said, when you allow God to go ahead and show you why it is this person is removed or why it is this situation the way it is, then things get better over time. And yes, he may have removed that person. And yes, he may have removed that so-called situation you were in. But you have to look at it as God always removes but replaces with so much better. He's going to replace it with much more. He's going to replace it with something like spectacular. And you're looking like, okay, well, that is, I'm glad that happened because I got this now. Like, you're going to see that when he removes, he's always going to have a bigger purpose, a greater purpose out of removing that situation and replacing it with something that, that's well-deserved or something that's way better for you in the long run. Because every situation that you was removed out of served its purpose. That person served its purpose. That person served, the reason why they needed to be in your life for so long, or that situation that you were in, why you was in that situation for so long. It served its purpose. Once that purpose is done, then God's going to go ahead and remove it. Sometimes he even forcefully remove it if we can't do it ourselves, because sometimes, yourself just don't have the strength to do it. You just don't have that strength to go ahead and let go or, to leave that situation. And sometimes that's when God intervenes and makes the supernatural happen and, just makes that situation change or removes that person or whatever it is, that thing that's in your way of your purpose, because it's all going to lay back into your purpose. It's going to go all into your purpose of what it is that God has for you. And if this person or that situation is not for you or good for you, he's going to go ahead and remove it. He's going to go ahead and be like, okay, it's time to go ahead and get rid of this because we need you to get on the right path. And we need you to go ahead and get on that path that I need you to be on. And I'm going to go ahead and replace it. Don't even trip. Yes, it sucks. Yes, I know you don't see it as how I see it, daughter or son. But when the time is right, I'm going to go ahead and replace it with so much more. And you're going to see why it is over time I had to change that situation or I had to remove that person. So I love you guys. That's the message that I have for you guys. Hopefully this helps someone today if you're dealing with a loss of someone or dealing in a time in your life or a season where you just really are confused why someone is no longer in your life or why a situation is no longer the way that it is. I'm here to tell you God removes and God replaces. And like I said, yes, it sucks at the moment. Yes, you don't want to deal with the coping and moving on process, but over time, you will heal. You do heal. And when you fully heal and fully allow God to show you things and show you the reason why he had to make that situation change or why he had to remove that person, then things start to get better and you start being like, okay, I'm very glad that situation was changed. I am very glad that person is no longer in my life. So once you see it as that, then things just start getting better downhill. So subscribe if you're not yet subscribed to my channel. Check out my other videos. Love you guys. Like this video, share this video, and I will see you guys in the next message.